Anybody who knows me, anybody who's followed me, anybody who is a member of the conspiratorium knows that I'm not kidding around. I don't just say things are good or things are bad or whatever, just to accommodate somebody's feelings. I'll tell you the truth. That things are looking good. I'm feeling good about things today. And you should feel good too. My friends, we have to take each day one day at a time. Please disabuse yourself of any preconceived notion. Do not be one of these people who think everything's great. Do not be a pessimist either. Just say it the way it is. Say it the way it is. Oh, my dear friend. There are some things that we must understand and we must take into account. And the first rule is I don't care who you are. Democrat, Republican, left, right. You can't have a non-candidate. You can't have a mannequin that say, ain't she pretty? Ain't she pretty? Don't you just love her? She don't say nothing, but don't you love her? You just, is she the damnest, the goddamnest thing you ever saw? Doesn't work. It may at first say, oh, that's good. Yeah, joy. What was that? Joy. She got joy. Joy, huh? So, my friends, get ready tonight. Let me just tell you right off the bat. Let me just tell you and let me warn you. Let me just say to you that tonight you're going to love this. I have for you a veritable pastiche, a myriad, a mosaic, a cornucopia of items and pieces and information that is just incredible. That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say. But first, dear friends, let me remind you of a couple of things. Number one, before we begin, let me make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Okay? Lionel Nation. Also, better hurry up. That room is filling up at that there cutting room on October the 26th, 10 days before the election. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. I cannot wait because remember, as we speak, my friends, remember what I'm telling you. 61 days until the election. 61 days until the election. 61 days. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's just so incredibly beautiful. Now, that's one thing. Number two, my friends, we've got a great sponsor. We have had one since the beginning of day one, since the beginning of day one, which makes no sense, since day one. That is our good friends at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com is I mean, they have been so good to us. We have been so good to them, and you've been so good to them. Why? Because you love them. Right now, as we speak, oh my God, you've got to go and see what he's got. Look at this employee pricing sale. Premium Giza My Pillow Queen, $19.98. My mattress toppers. Go down the list. I'm not going to read these for you. They're incredible. He's giving these away. He's out of his mind. He's insane. And we love him. Thank you, Mike Lindell. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? You want to hear some good stuff? Let's hear some good stuff. You don't mind, do you? You don't mind me telling you some good stuff. Let's go through this. First and foremost, I want you to make sure you get a hold of this thing from our good friend, from the inimitable, the ineffable, this Crowder feller. And I mean to tell you, this is one of the most interesting things that you've got to see this. And please make it a point for you. Please make it a point. Please make it a point to follow what he did. There's one piece called Lawfare against Trump. And this is one of the most incredible things, just Steven Crowder. And I can't play the whole thing for you. I don't want to play the whole thing. You must watch it in his own time, in your own time. But it is one of the most important, the most critical pieces ever. Watch this.
Rearranging things just to make the case nonsense. It's a perversion of justice.
To make him a convict.
convicted felon. It affects his candidacy if he's a convicted felon.
It's a travesty of justice, a mockery of justice.
Now this gets really good. Just for a second. This is Stephen Crowder, but watch this. Just for a second of this.
Let me be clear about something on the outset. The person you'll be watching today is not the bad guy here. Unwitting whistle.
Let me go through this thing. Look at this guy. His name is Nicholas Biasi. Like DiBiase. He's a chief public affairs, U.S. Department of Justice.
Disgusting.
Watch this. Just a minute of this.
They're just out to get him.
And that's why, like, the surging of the police. It's a perversion of justice. He was stacking charges and, like, rearranging things just to make it fit a case. No, to be honest with you, I think the case is nonsense.
State levels are the Wild West. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. So yeah, this guy's probably going to try to lock him up, and it's going to be ugly.
Okay, this is all over the place. Just check this out. I'm not going to play the whole thing for you right now. That's it. It is. First, I don't understand if this guy's got a job the next day after this. It would surprise me. What a big mouth. Did somebody just come along? Does he not know? How many of these do you have to hear? These hidden camera deals. How many of these? This is one of the most incredibly brutal pieces you will ever see. A la Project Veritas. What is it? Is it women who do this? Do they get somebody who, do these Mata Hari types ply them with booze? What in the hell? Please watch this. Stephen Crowder. It's incredible. And it's everything we knew about lawfare and how there's a deliberate intention, a deliberate move, a deliberate piece, if you will, a momentum to destroy this president. And it is so incredibly, it's just watch the whole thing. Okay. And thank God for these brave and intrepid reporters and people who go out and doing real journalism, because you're not going to be seeing that human thumb, the human hangnail that Brian Stelter Tater get to the bottom of this. That's not going to happen at all. Next, here's something. In a moment of apparent candor, this may not really hit you, but old Pops kind of lets the cat out of the bag. You see, with Kamala, she says nothing. But he says some things every now and then. It's like,
my investments, through my investments, the most significant climate change law ever. And by the way, it is a $369 billion bill. It's called we should have named it what it was, but at any rate,
the Inflation Reduction Act, and he admits exactly what he did. He admits exactly what he did. It's incredible, isn't it? And ladies and gentlemen, you're wondering, what is this man talking about? I have no idea. But he's a member of our family and we love him. And he says some things that, very frankly, sometimes are logolalic. But that does not mean that he doesn't have the right to say whatever he wants. So, Johnny, you say whatever you want, my friend. Even though we don't understand it, even though we wonder really what you're on, if anything, what substance causes you to think the way you do. It's a free country, doggone it. You can say whatever you want. Thank you, Uncle Lenny. Thank you, Crypto Domini. Thank you for that one. Now, a little bit more. This is so terrific. This is so great. Because when people start to hear and they start paying attention and they start, they start to find out, well, who is this Kamala? What's she really all about? It's not that people are going to necessarily vote for Trump. But what it does do, believe it or not, is it has a tremendous effect sometimes on causing people not to vote for her. It kills the momentum. It kills that sense of she's special. She means something, right? And this incredible piece of wonderful stuff is being presented and brought for your attention. And by the way, for those of you who care about, by the way, just to let you know, they got to work on the production. The sound's a little bit much, but still, you got it? Okay. That's the way that works. Our good friend, our good friend Soul 76 Can says, Dems lie, cheat, steal, sometimes openly, that is, pops in every aspect of life. Yet we're to believe they'll not do the same in elections. Come on, man. Could not have said it better myself, my friend. Could not have said it better myself. Isn't that something? And this is another one too. This is another beauteous one. Another thing. Remember, these folks. Oh, Bobby Dowd, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Dowd says, saw Carmelita ad on TV today. Start to finish lies about Trump. Even the Project 2025 stuff. What is your read on Trump's lawfare cases as they stand today, or they stand? Literally love you, bro. Literally, bro, bruh. Literally. Well, first and foremost, they are the lawfare cases are indeed what you say they are, lawfare. The every time they do something. By the way, I had a wonderful day today. I did a great piece on a show called Redacted with Natalie Morris. Hope you see that. And we talk specifically about that. And it's a very, very complicated issue. But let me just leave it at this. Has it affected him in the least? No, it hasn't. It's just drained his personal wealth and driven him crazy and tried their best. But by the way, compare to what this fellow was saying specifically as to what their goals were. It's to distract and to kill his will. Mark Wilson says, Kamala at the debate, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Indeed, my brother. Indeed. Let me listen to the words of Chuck Schumer, the most boring man on the face of the earth. Well, one of the few. That's a pretty tall order. Listen to what he says specifically as to the Democrats and their intention and their plans regarding illegal immigration.
Way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
What demented lunacy is this? George Lenz says, big military presence in New York City with hazmat trucks. Interesting. Many of them are preparing, they say, for a lot of things. We are, by the by, seeing, and you've seen this too, George, a tremendous change is going to happen to the top tiers of Eric Adams, police, public safety. I mean, there are the FBI raided homes today. They are about to lower the boom on these folks, my friend. Get ready. That's one of the reasons why Eric Adams was never invited to the DNC. It's one of the reasons why, remember, they took his phone and stuff a while back. He's the mayor of New York. Big things to happen, my friend. Now, also, let me bring you to bring you to attention regarding this. There is a woman that we have called, I think, one of the finest first ladies we have ever seen in terms of elegance and style and making us proud. And she is now coming out with her own version of this. And this, my friend, is something that is about time. Let me see what your thoughts are regarding this.
I think this memoir has been a deeply personal and reflective journey for me. As a private person who has often been the subject of public scrutiny and misrepresentation, I feel a responsibility to clarify the facts. I believe it is important to share my perspective, the truth.
How perfect. This has been something I have been wanting for the longest time. You don't understand, for the longest time. Laurie Lewis, by the way, is ready for October the 26th. Oh my God, can you imagine? Can you just imagine what we're about to see? Thank you for that. Melania, the first lady, has been the one of the secret weapons that, for reasons I do not understand, dear friends, has not been utilized, has not been used, has not been, dare I say, used enough. And I'm sorry to see this. I'm sorry to see that, and I don't know why that is so. But it is something that would, and this is so important. How do I say this? It would wow so many of women, men too, to extent, but women, and women who may not necessarily like President Trump, who may detest him, but yet see something in her that they admire in terms of the fashion, elegance, the way she carries herself, a mother. It's just secret weapon time. Now, I don't want to get into too much, dear friends, as to how American women feel. Okay. I'm not going to do that, because when I say this, when I talk about this, sometimes people get upset because they think what I'm saying is, dare I say, sexist, and it's not. But if you haven't figured out the way women think, if you have not understood or grasped the notion of how these folks think, what excites them in terms of politically in ads and media, then you haven't been paying attention. Melania Trump has always been the secret weapon that makes people say, oh. And if anything, if it can maybe at best dampen this residual that people have towards Trump, all the better. You're seeing right now a different campaign, a different everything. Let's talk more about something. You know, my friends, I've said this before. The thing that is the most important, the thing that people find to be, that people are finding to be the most problematic, the most, is this accent, this phony accent stuff. It's something, even when, remember when people like Madonna had the phony accent? Remember when, it was weird too, because Linda McCartney, bless her heart, Paul McCartney's wife, remember she started to have that. Sometimes people maybe kind of pick up on it, but other people do things in a way to appropriate. And you would think, because this is one of the favorite cries of the left, cultural appropriation. You've heard this a gazillion times. And you would think they would be very, very concerned about it. You would think they would have something to say about this. Well, my friends, sit back and enjoy yourself with this.
Voter suppression.
The accent is back.
Stacey Abrams would be the governor of Georgia. Andrew Gillum is the governor of Florida.
First, we saw her develop the magical accent when she was down south.
I'm going to get into some business now. Okay.
And now it's back.
You all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
We're going to beat him in November.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
We all know you don't talk like that. You've been vice president for 4 years.
He does not walk it like he talks it.
She doesn't talk like this.
When we get this done together, my friend.
I know how to talk to you. I mean, come on.
Will I see people testifying? Can I get a witness?
And they know. We all know she's just a big walking bag of artifice.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Best rapper alive, Tupac.
Best rapper alive. By the way, that's called a black scent. Just thought I'd let you know.
Are you kidding me? I'm totally part of that whole listening generation of music.
She seems to come forth with some sort of an accent while she's talking to French scientists.
We campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P, the plan. We're expected to defend the plan.
What was that?
I say the plan for you. I say we have ourselves the plan for us to use the plan for you, Henri Lafarge. For you. Half-heart at you. Half-heart in your general direction. Your mother wears sneakers to church. Ooh la la, c'est soir.
That was weird.
Oh, the possibilities are immense. Whatever you want to do, you can do. I eat no.
Oh, did you notice that? A bit of the reserve, the received English. Did you notice that as well?
For breakfast. Young men of color, black men. It's not just a barbershop.
You know Kamala Harris is Indian, right?
We got these brothers out there. This one brother who's doing a lot of work on space.
You are Indian.
Yes.
And I am Indian too, because many people don't know the fact that I am very, very tired. And I don't have change for at 20. But I know I want you to understand something. I'm not in any way trying to what am I trying to say? I'm not trying in any way to make you feel as though I'm being placating you or anyway. I'm trying to patronize you. I'm not doing that, whatever. I'm telling you the truth about that because I don't have change for at 20. And I love a vegetable. I do. And I'm very, very tired. I am tired. Very, very tired.
Chitti is here. I was just talking with my Chitti about this. Go to India for Diwali. We have to stay woke. Let's get a ceasefire.
I have to stay woke because being woke is really important to me. I don't know what woke means, but I am very, very tired. Very tired. Very. Wait a minute. Hold it. There we go. Okay.
Must be an immediate ceasefire. Like everybody needs to be woke. Just stay more woke than less woke. Leave grandma's medical marijuana alone. Do you want to put a little?
I know that motherfucker crazy. I know that. I do crazy.
A little of that bourbon?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, go on and put a little bit.
There you go.
I can't help myself.
Hey, Kamala, what do you call that? What is your favorite Indian food? What? Give me a name or something. Don't just go, I like that. What? Give me a name. Give me a name.
Don't preach like that. I'd like India to be proud of one of its daughters. You better thank a union member.
Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a Southern accent?
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave.
It's just hearing it sounds so ridiculous.
You better thank a union member for vacation time. Freedom. I also worked at McDonald's.
Never did. Never did. Isn't this incredible? Tampon Timmy, he lies, she lies. I mean, I did, and let me tell you something. Listen to me. Don't think for a moment that this is not important because it's very important. Very important because I have basket. It doesn't take an issue sometimes to make people really understand, really grasp the level of absolute illucidity of this person. And I mean that. How do I say this? It's one of those things where you don't necessarily need something huge to come along. But more important than anything else, you need something that people can grasp. Now, let's talk about one of the famous subjects. Do you know, can any of you, dear wonderful people, can you stolen McValor? Very good. That's very funny. Can you in any way, and I mean this, can you in any way think of a reason, explain me how the Russians have ever thrown an election, colluded, invaded, in any way infiltrated? Have you ever heard anybody? You ever heard anybody come forward and says, my name is Dmitry. I'm from the KGB, FSB, and I broke into the elections and I fixed the numbers. Yes, I changed. That would be something. You ever hear that? No. I heard something about they bought 5,000. Was it 5,000 Facebook pages, or I don't even know what the hell it is. But yet this refrain continues without surcease. Let's let old Nancy Pelosi remind you of this.
What the Russians have on Donald Trump, I think we have to have that investigation by the FBI into his financial, personal, and political connections to Russia. What do the Russians have on Donald Trump?
And what about your husband with a man with a hammer? The man that he brought back to your home. What was that about? Just saying. My God.
Politically, financially, and personally. What does Vladimir Putin have on President Trump? Personally, politically, financially, in any way. What does he have on Donald Trump? I think it's probably financial. I think it's probably financial. Either something financial he has on or something on the come.
Okay. All righty. Well, speaking of the latter, I don't want to bring up your husband again. And one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I wish our great president would do on a regular basis, as I have said time after time after time.
A suggestion of Elon Musk, who has given me his complete and total endorsement. That's nice. Smart guy. He knows what he's doing. It's very, very much appreciated. I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. We need to do it. Can't go on the way we are now. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. Be interesting. If he has the time, that'd be a good one to do it.
We're seeing right now a complete and total change of those people who normally are involved in this type of thing. We see people who have been, think about this, Tulsi Gabbard, Bobby Kennedy, Elon Musk, his appearing with Lex Friedman was so important. You're seeing this multiplicity of new people. If you really want to see something, now I again with the numbers, I want to put in Nate Silver from 538.com is basically saying all but saying Trump's got it and that sort of thing. So let me just say something here. Be very careful about these numbers. If you want me to give you someone who said something to, it's funny. They talk about, well, we've got to get to the bottom of these shell corporations that are promoting Russian ideology. The Russians who seem to promote something which causes dissension by virtue of giving people a different way of looking at things. What do you think about a company? What do you think about a country? What do you think about a country who basically goes out of its way? And thank you, crypto, and I mean that sincerely. What do you think about a country that goes out of its way, or an organization, or whatever you want to call it, to basically remind you or to spread lies that Trump somehow is losing? Isn't that infiltration? People are so worried about this Russia. May I ask a very simple question of you? And I want you to think about this. And if you don't, you can answer it however you want. And I respect your opinion one way. But if you're interested in countries that are infiltrating and basically affecting our elections and our representatives, why doesn't anybody ever talk about Israel? Are they off the hook? Do they not matter? Sean Lucan, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm not, again, when you say to people, don't say that, I say, wait a minute. You've got people, do you know any other country, maybe you do, that has something similar to AIPAC? Do you? Now, nobody says anything about that. Well, that's different. That is as blatant and as open and as obvious as you can say. So let me get this straight. Why aren't you having any indictments there? They're paying money. They're actually affecting it very, very openly. Look at Cori Bush and others trying to primary certain people from different districts who do not show the proper recognition or fealty to Israeli causes or whatever you want to call it. And please, and I know people are going to say, there you go again. I'm not saying this. I'm an American. Please tell me why Israel can do it. No problem. But somebody who is a Russian, not Russian government, somebody who's a Russian who buys $5,000 worth of Facebook ads, you're going to indict them because they're spreading dissemination and the like. But Israel can get, please, nobody stops that. Do you know a French version of that? Do you know the for, like I said, of FAPAC, French American? Do you? Do you know? Maybe they have them and they're more clandestine. This is the part that I hate. I hate when people are disingenuous, and I hate when people are hypocritical. So I want somebody to tell me one thing and one thing only. In fact, they were talking about these organizations that are putting out information and YouTube videos that seek to promote dissension and cause problems and disinformation. What about CNN? What about MSNBC? What about that walking turd, Brian Stelter? That tater, that whatever this thing is. What about him? He lied to you. He said to you, listen to what I'm saying very carefully. Maybe you can understand this. Maybe you can explain something I don't understand. When Joe Biden was walking around clearly out of his gourd, out of his mind, he said, oh, those are cheap fakes. He said the G7 picture of Pops as he was walking around out of his tree was a cheap fake. Why isn't somebody indicting him? Please tell me. I'm dead serious. Tell me, why isn't that? That's a lie. You're putting things out. You're saying that picture of Joe Biden walking around out of his tree, out of his mind, completely just denuded, discombobulated from reality, that this was a deliberate fakery. This was not real. I hate the hypocrisy. Donald Trump is going to kick her ass. Can you see what's happening? If this, remember, we have 60 days still. I can't tell you what's going to happen in 5 days, 10 days. If this momentum occurs, somebody asked before, please tell me. I'm seeing a lot of ads and you're very nervous. First and foremost, I'm going to get this out of the way. If they don't lock down, I was on the Mark Simone show today. Great show, WOR. And I so thoroughly enjoy. He is the last of the valued, New York talk show host of any note. The only thing I would ever even remotely listen to. And thank God for the app, the iHeart app, not the antenna. I can't get any AM here in any event. So we were talking today. And he says, a lot of efforts have been made to determine, to prevent and to keep an eye out for illegals who may be brought in to vote. I said, no, Mark, we're not talking illegals. We're not talking illegals. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to say it. It's not illegals. It's some guy in the back room who's just counting ballots. He's not a part of anything. They just dump a big box, a big bag of ballots that came in the mail, and he opens up and he counts them, and that's it. No, and we're not talking illegals. We're talking somebody who they just come in the mail. Do you know what happens if I can get a hold of 1,000? If I can get a hold of 1,000, let's just assume, just call me wacky. If I said, listen, my brother-in-law works in the post office, in the main one, in Radio City, or whatever the equivalent is, in maybe Crescent or Locust or whatever it is in Philly. And he's got access. He says, whenever they mail the ballots, they come straight from the Secretary of State's office, and they come in these like pallets, like almost like a case of beer. You've seen those cardboard kind of mail things, receptacles. I can't speak for some particular reason. And they bring them in. And if he just kind of puts them over here and brings them to somebody else, I've got 1,000 ballots. Let's just assume, let's just assume in my crazy fantasy movie, I can get you 1,000 ballots that aren't going to these people, going to you. Here, take them. Open them up, fill them in, and then drop them back. They'll be mailed back from Ramona Splitkin, 123 Main Street in Philly. And they open it up and go, there we go, one vote for them. And they're not going to look and say, Ramona Splitkin, wait a minute. Let's check that name. Hey, this name doesn't even exist anywhere. They're not going to do that. Or do they? That's the thing that nobody can explain to me. And nobody ever wants to. They just talk about other stuff, which is fine. Let's move that out of the way. I think I've made that very, very clear. What we're seeing right now is a bunch of people saying, oh my God. And let me also tell you something. Remember what I'm telling you. President Trump is going to devour her, just destroy her during the debate. Now listen to me carefully. Because sometimes, have you heard, did you notice, how many of you noticed? Did you notice? And by the way, cemetery names, we're not going, we don't know how these names sometimes appear on the rolls. We don't know. We simply do not know. We do not know. Remember, if I can get those ballots somehow, anyway, but did you hear the president say, look, just hold your nose and vote for me? Have you heard me say this? I use the analogy, he's chemotherapy. But if you heard me say, listen, if you don't like me, that's fine. You need me. You don't understand this. This isn't personal. I don't know if you ever heard this. Lo and behold, I'm thinking, that's it. Maybe it's a parallel development. Maybe. It's just great minds think alike. But that is precisely what I would say. There's somebody out there who says, you simply don't understand this. I don't want you to like me. It has nothing to do with it. Did you like Harry Truman? Did people like people? Did people like, not that I'm Abraham Lincoln, but they didn't even know Lincoln. They didn't know anything about him. After he suspended habeas corpus. What? This idea of, I don't like him. I don't know where that comes from. You've got the future of this republic. And I'm just the guy you need. That simple. And with that way of thinking, I'm telling you, he's going to do it. And one more thing, my friend. Make sure you tell me that because I know Kevin knows what I'm talking about, they wouldn't be hiding her if they didn't need to. Oh, absolutely. Kevin, I know you and others are smart. That's why preparewithlionel.com is so critical, so important, so unbelievably necessary for you to get to the bottom of this. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm just going to say two words to you. Emergency food. That's it. If that doesn't make you say, oh my God, we don't have any emergency food, I don't know what does. Could you do 30 days, 10 days, 5 days? 5 days if for some reason you couldn't get out, you were stuck inside and there is nothing and you don't want to go outside for whatever reason. Could you do 5 days? Do you have enough stuff? No, you don't. You don't. You got banana chips and jerky. Doesn't work that way. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com and save $300. $300 on this mega 3-month emergency food kit. Preparewithlionel.com. Oh, my dear friends, we've got so many great things happening. So many wonderful things, so many terrific things, so many phenomenal things. So many things that we absolutely can look forward to. But I want you to maintain your own sense of sanity. Please do not believe in every little stupid thing you hear. Things have changed drastically. They're hiding her. You do understand that. They're hiding her, and everybody knows it. And even the people they know this. She's trying to wear headphones and earphones, just to keep from speaking to you. They're aware of this. They absolutely know this. And Timmy, they just push him out of the way. He is the liar. Put it this way. The only thing he does is take the attention off of her. And you got to ask yourself, why this guy? I talked to a friend of mine who lives in Minnesota. He goes, well, he's a good governor. I said, did you know this about him? Did you know this? Let me ask you a question. Be honest with me. Let's say your daughter comes to you and says, listen, there's this guy that I've been dating. And, we're talking about getting serious. Okay. But there's one thing I found out. Well, what's that, honey? Well, he says he was in the army, but he wasn't. Is that a deal killer? Answer that question. This is your daughter. She's, let's say, in her 20s. And she's going to marry this guy. And she finds out, lo and behold, that he said he was in the army. Not a general or anything, but he was in the service, but he never was. What would you think about that? What would you think? What would you think? It's a deal breaker, Murph says. I would say this is the worst thing. If he is going to lie about that. One of my favorites is, I love this, Don Shipley and Diane. I love them. It's called UBS Buds 1 UBS. What am I saying? Buds 181 or whatever it is. Anyway, Don Shipley. It's called Buds. Anita Stolen Valor. And I'm fascinated by this. And it's just and people call up and say, this guy says he's a Navy SEAL and he gets a tattoo and he has the trident. And sometimes they try to get money and whatever, but sometimes people just say they did it. And they just make up this stuff. Now, I'm not saying that Tampon Timmy is that bad, but let me ask you a question. What does it mean when somebody shows different degrees of lying? There's a big liar, a huge liar, a pathological liar, and then there's somebody who lies about maybe having visited a country they didn't. Okay, whatever. Remember when I told you I went to Greece? Yeah, I never went to Greece. Okay, but you got to ask yourself, why are you lying about that? Lying exhibits and indicates a problem elsewhere. It shows, and we're not talking exaggeration. We're not talking to somebody who exaggerates. We're not talking to somebody who's, but when somebody lies about something that's just absolutely not true, and lies about something that can be verifiable, I'm telling you, there is something wrong with it. She doesn't really lie. She just kind of distorts things. She's not really a liar. I mean, yeah, she's Indian, and yeah, she's the black, yeah, okay, and she's a woman, and so maybe she, plays it up. That's not really lying. She doesn't lie. She just doesn't know anything. Unbridled, unhinged by the past, whatever the hell it is. So she's different. He's a liar. Liars are dangerous. There's something wrong there, especially when somebody lies about something that's just stupid. It's worse when somebody lies about something you didn't have to lie about. I'm telling you, there's something and it's one after another. Lying about the IVF, lying, you know the name of it, intrauterine insemination. If you've been through that, you got to ask yourself, that's not IVF. That's not frozen embryo. That's different. Why are you saying that? It's something. And the sad part is that we really have not had liars. We've had some exaggerators, we've had some, BS artists, but we haven't had liars. Tampon Timmy is demented. And when I tell people this, they think I'm just, I'm exaggerating. I'm telling you, oh, no. You're missing the point. This is somebody who, I'm not saying he's a serial killer, but when somebody is that fast and loose with the truth, it's another story, my friend. It's another story. So listen, Kevin and Sean Lucan and Crypto Domini, Laurie Lewis, George Lenz, Mark Wilson, Bobby Dowd, Soul Man, Crypto, thank you so much. By the way, make sure you're subscribed to Lionel Media on Twitter, but Lionel Nation. Make sure. I've got a great drop later. It was a terrific interview I did today with Natalie Morris from Redacted. Very, very. Please watch that. Okay? Please pay attention to that one. Also follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. I appreciate it immensely. And until then, my friend, until tomorrow morning, what am I saying? Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Have a great and a glorious night. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya.